Orders of Day numbers 8 to 10.
State Sector Amendment Bill, third reading. Public Finance Amendment Bill number 2, third reading. Crown Entities Amendment Bill, third reading.
The Honourable Dr Jonathan Coleman.
Mr Speaker, I move that the State Sector Amendment Bill, the Public Finance Amendment Bill number 2 and the Crown Entities Amendment Bill be now read a third time. Mr Speaker, this legislation underpins what is the biggest transformation of the public service in a generation. These changes to the state sector, the Public Finance and the Crown Entities Acts will support whole-of-system change, enabling the delivery of better public services and outcomes for New Zealanders. As Minister of State Services, I work with quality public servants who are committed to achieving results, as many colleagues on both sides of the House recognised during the Committee of the Whole House stage. This government wants to empower those public servants with the flexibility and the incentives to be responsive to the needs of the community. A high-performing public sector underpins our economic and social success as a country. In the year to the end of June 2012, core Crown expenditure represented 1/3 of New Zealand's nominal gross domestic product. In addition to the expenses of Crown entities and state-owned enterprises, then, also during this period, the total Crown expenditure was $92.7 billion, or 44.4% of our nominal GDP. With this level of financial responsibility, it is easy to see why government agencies need to be allowed to develop new and different ways of working that deliver greater value and better results. Change is needed to bring out the best. As the Better Public Services Advisory Group said, the state agencies need to provide or fund services less as a collection of individual agencies in pursuit of their own singular objectives and more as a system that is focused on the results that will have the biggest positive impact on New Zealanders' lives. This government has made it clear that the state sector needs to prove that it can perform better and represent value for money. We face challenges from the difficult international economic environment, changing public expectations of service design and delivery, and complex societal issues, many of which can't be tackled by agencies working on their own. The key to doing more with less lies in innovation and agility. Public agencies need to be open to change, to develop new business models and to harness new technologies in order to lift productivity and meet emerging challenges. If we continue to approach challenges in the same way, we will come up with the same old responses. We can do better than that. This journey began in March last year when this government announced changes to focus on results that matter most while improving frontline services. There was a need for a set of results to get better traction on difficult issues like reducing crime, reducing long-term welfare dependency and reducing educational underachievement. We lowered the cap on full-time staff and administration positions and created a single dedicated department, the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, from the resources of 4 existing government agencies in order to drive forward the business growth agenda and make it easier for businesses to engage with the government. But just focusing on a number of results is not enough, Mr Speaker. From now on, enabled by these legislative amendments, we want to ensure that public services get the system working better as a whole to deliver on outcomes that matter. These amendments give agencies the tools to better break down silo behaviours. Responsiveness to the collective interests of government will be an explicit responsibility of individual chief executives. This supports a greater responsiveness to New Zealanders' needs and a commitment to continuous improvement. We want to ensure government agencies work closer together and also work with NGOs and the private sector. These legislative changes give agencies the ability to pool and use money and resources. It will enable agencies to develop, purchase and share more common functions and services. Perhaps most importantly, the changes strengthen leadership, Mr Speaker. As Head of State Services and the Corporate Centre, the State Services Commissioner will have the explicit mandate for leadership and the ability to appoint leaders with the right skill set. The Commissioner will also play a key role, making sure we have the right people in the right leadership positions across the system. This transformational approach needs to be spread and ingrained across the whole state sector. This is essential for achieving better results and for agencies to live within the tight fiscal restraints on the public purse. These changes also need to become business as usual for government agencies. Delivering better services should be the normal way government employees go about their jobs. Mr Speaker, this government has made it clear what a transformed and successful public service will look like. Within 5 years, these changes will distinguish the New Zealand Public Service as functioning as a single system rather than as a collection of individual agencies, as focusing effort, people, skills and money on where it is most needed, and as being led by innovative chief executives and senior leadership adept at inspiring and getting the most out of staff and in achieving a collective impact across the public, private and community sectors. Under this legislation, Mr Speaker, we will be proud of public agencies that design services with and for the people who use them. A public sector that uses technology expertly and safely to provide better services and increase efficiency. A public service that can transparently measure and report on its performance across the whole system to identify weaknesses and drive further improvement. Agencies that will use this data to help direct the resources and attention to where they're needed most and have the capability and resilience to meet not just the tasks of today, but to meet the challenges of future change and grasp the opportunities. Progress on government's results shows that we are making good progress in achieving challenging targets. They demonstrate the significant cross-agency work underway to make headway in the most challenging areas in the lives of New Zealanders. Mr Speaker, this legislation provides the tools, the mandate and the platform for the public sector to transform, to deliver to achieve the best possible outcomes, the ones that really make a difference to New Zealanders' lives. I commend these bills to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. The Honourable
Mr Speaker, the theory of what the Minister has just outlined is all fine and good. The practice has been something